Hello, everyone. This is episode number 9 of the Ice and Dixon Show. Hello to all of you out there. But honestly, before we even start the introduction and everything, I want to say a big shout out and a hello to our new first organic subscriber. If you're listening right now, comment below. Reach out to us. Let us know what you think of the show. Maybe give us a question. Maybe me and Dixon could answer it. Honestly, that goes for anyone, any new subscriber. Just comment below and we'll address it right in the beginning of the show. I think that'll be a fun thing to do. What do you think, Dixon?
I'm all about it. Welcome to the new sub. Really happy to have you on board and really excited for this relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And we hope we let this relationship grow, honestly.
With more people. It's open.
Yeah.
It's an open relationship with subscribers. So
Exactly. I was super pumped about it. I remember I texted Dixon late in the evening hours. I said, "Oh my God, look at this new subscriber." I couldn't believe it.
We were thrilled about it. We were thrilled.
We really were, because as it turns out, and we're very, very thankful for our one subscriber that we had prior to this, but it's someone we know personally. So technically it's not organic. You know how organic growth happens, and it's just people that come upon your video. Well, this one counts as our first organic subscriber. So again, thank you so much.
Big congrats to the subscriber and to us.
Yeah, honestly, I mean that's a pretty big thing. I was seriously pumped about it, though. Really brought me back to getting your first sub. I mean, that's a big thing. It's honestly, there's 500 hours uploaded every single minute to YouTube of new content.
500 hours every minute.
Yeah, it's like absolutely insane. So like the fact that our video even gets viewed is like nothing short of a miracle.
But that really puts it all in perspective. That's something.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And also, here's another fun fact for you. Only 10% of YouTubers make it to 1,000 subscribers. I think I told you this like 50 times before,
yes.
but I'm
yes. I do recall that fact. Yes, man.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, no, it really shows you like how tough this actually is. But it's not tough. You don't work a day in your life if you enjoy doing what you do.
Isn't that the truth? And here we are. We haven't been working, either a job or something that we enjoy doing. So this is really great.
I absolutely love it. And I apologize if I sound under the weather. Turns out Ice got a little thing going around. I'm not sure if you heard of it.
Oh, jeez.
Can we say this? Well, can we even talk about this? I don't know.
You know what? It'll be immediately banned, censorship.
Yeah.
If you say you have this thing, it'll be like, "Oh, really? Really? Do you have it?" It's like over.
Yeah, it's like
you see all those. Good.
No, is he spreading misinformation? Like just get like locked in completely. Just if I slip up one single time, it's over.
Yeah, seriously. You see those TikToks, like people like sharing their experiences of either of the vid or the vax, and it's like, oh, well, this happened to me, and then they're deplatformed because they shared their experience. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah, it's all that misinformation thing.
It's really scary. YouTube's honestly pretty, I would say, probably more lenient than other platforms as far as like what I mean. Like, it's still way worse than it used to be, because like YouTube, you literally used to be able to upload anything. But now they've kind of cracked down. But again, it's not as bad as like I would say Twitch or things like that. On Twitch, like you say one thing and you're gone pretty much within seconds. I don't even know how they do it so fast.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah, they're on you like real quick. Especially if you're partnered. Jeez. They're watching.
Oh gosh, wow, that's really interesting. I always thought it was more lenient, but I've never spent a minute on Twitch in my life.
I know. I really got to get you into this, because that's where a lot of drama comes from too.
Man, I love the drama.
A lot of political drama. I think we're actually going to get into some drama today too.
Oh boy, are we ever?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. Ironic, given that I have the thing that the misinformation is being pushed about, and yeah, I really don't want to say the word, because these algorithms are crazy, man. I'm telling you.
Jeez, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, it is very ironic, and it's funny because I don't know if you've seen or you've heard, but Neil Young demanded Spotify remove his music from the platform because Spotify. Well, he's claiming that Spotify spreads vid misinformation.
Oh my god, I am so tired of this. I am so sick of it. Who Neil Young? I don't even know who that is. Who's it?
It's funny. I knew you were going to say that. I may.
How'd you know? What are you trying to?
Yeah, he had a lot of good songs. He was active. Like he's had a career that spanned literally decades. He's in the '60s with Buffalo Springfield. That song. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? That's Buffalo Springfield. That's
Oh
a
my
Neil
god,
Young band.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that song. I love that.
Yeah,
song
no, it's
too.
good. Yes, you know who he is. And then he had Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then he was, keep on rocking the free world. Everybody's heard that song. But he's been out there for a while. He's been very prolific.
This Neil Young guy ain't that bad.
I'm a Neil Young fan. I've seen him in concert. I've always liked him. But he's always been very on the left spectrum of things with his politics. This is nothing new. Like he had a whole album in 2004. It's called "Living with War," and the one song was "Let's Impeach the President." that was
really knows forward with that one. I wonder what the message was.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I wonder what this song's about," with George W. Bush and stuff. But he's taking on Starbucks because of their GMOs, and he had this other album. Yeah, oh yeah, big time. And then he had this other album. I think it was called Monsanto, and it's about the agricultural.
I wonder what that one's about. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the album name, but it's definitely a song, Monsanto, on that album. And it's about.
That's
Monsanto.
Great. It's pretty funny because as you were going through those songs, I'm like,
yeah,
I think I've heard of these before. You know why? Because freaking Dave Matthews has covered all these songs.
That's awesome.
We all know how much we love Dave Matthews too.
That's such a great crossover of generations. Like, oh yeah, I know these songs, but I know because Dave Matthews, covered them. That's awesome.
It's funny too because they must run in tight circles because Dave Matthews is also kind of like a weird leftist kind of guy. I remember he was big on the cow farts for a while. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. That's a big thing. The methane and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was on that kept popping up on my Facebook and ads for whatever friggin' reason. It was very, very strange, but that was a while ago. Anyway, that makes sense now that they run in tight circles.
He has Neil Young has Farm Aid. It's just like a song every year, a concert every year.
Yeah,
for a festival. Yeah, and he plays Farm Aid. I think tickets there are $800. It's insane. I don't think you can even get in basically the door without spending $1,000 to get into that concert.
Yeah, that shit's really like yuppie white people thinking that they're doing something for a cause, and probably 1% of what they pay goes to actually helping farmers. I would imagine. Yeah, something stupid like that.
It's something else. But so this is nothing new for Neil Young to do. And he went after Spotify before because he said, Spotify compresses their audio or does something with the audio so the quality isn't as good. So he wrote this. Go ahead.
Well, if you want to have friggin' FLAC audio, which is 8,000 gigabytes per song, Neil, I guess you could do that. But are you gonna pay for the servers? What?
It's funny when you think about that because in reality, he's releasing records in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
And you had these big dinosaur stereos and real flimsy vinyl. So the quality was never really 100%. When he's making the height of his career,
Jeez, that just sounds like nitpicky shit to me. Everyone compresses their audio. You need to. You can't have raw. I don't know. That's all right. I don't know about this Neil guy anymore. Sorry.
It's over. Yeah, it's a really good point. He didn't go after the low quality of vinyl. Why is he all of a sudden not so big thing?
Gives a character. I don't know.
Yeah. But so it's funny because he posted this letter on his website a few days ago, and he demands that the music be removed, his music be removed from Spotify. And this is the quote. This is from Rolling Stone. I'm reading it, and he said, "I'm doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about vax, potentially causing death to those who believe the disinformation being spread by them. Please act on this immediately today and keep me informed of the time schedule." So there's another. Yeah, I guess it goes on for a while.
Oh my god!
I want you to let Spotify know immediately today, all caps, that I want all my music off their platform. He continued, they can have Rogan or Young, not both. So I guess he's referencing Joe Rogan being maybe a controversial figure in pop culture, in the medical community, whatever. So he addressed this to his record label and to his management. It turns out he doesn't own the majority of his catalog.
Oh,
that he. So I guess he really isn't in the position to make that call when it comes down to a business sense.
Oh my God, so good.
So he deleted the letter. So, like I said, this is nothing new. Neil Young is always standing up for something. So, I think he's, pretty proud of himself. He's doing this thing. Well, it turns out that Spotify removed Neil Young's music from the platform.
So, okay. So, I was very confused about this. I'm glad you brought this up because that's so funny, though. So, he was the one, he was giving the ultimatum. Then it turns out that he did not have essentially the authority to do that because he doesn't own the majority of his catalog.
Yeah, that's what it appears like. So his record label and everybody else. So I guess the record label has, obviously a stake, but I guess 50% or more of his catalog is owned by somebody else. And this is a common thing that people do. I think Bob Dylan's done it, Michael Jackson, the Beatles, all that kind of stuff. They have their catalogs elsewhere, and I guess I don't know if they, with royalty payments or whatever it is, or maybe there's more opportunity for placement. Who the heck knows? But this is not an uncommon thing. People do it,
So then Neil Young, so Spotify then comes back and goes, well, it's funny you said that, bitch, because we are choosing Neil or Rogan, and it's Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I guess, like Joe Rogan has it's some insane amount of subscribers, like 11 million subscribers. So
yeah, I actually I look. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I looked at the article here, and it says. Now, this is estimated because I was actually looking for this myself on the app and everything. Couldn't find it on mobile, couldn't find it on desktop, but I know he has a ton. Right. It's estimated from this one article at 11 million from Rogan, and Neil Young has 6 million monthly listeners.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, when you compare Neil Young to Joe Rogan, I mean, for having music that's basically 50, 60 years old to still have 6 million streamers, I mean, that's pretty impressive. He's not on the radio, unless you listen to the classic rock station, you know what I mean? So I think that's pretty good. I said, I've been a Neil Young fan. I'm aware of his politics. I understand them. I get where he's coming from. It is what it is. So just a while ago, this is being recorded on a Friday afternoon. He wrote another letter and posted it on his website. So I guess the big deal is that, Neil Young, who's, keep on rocking in the free world, just that song.
Yeah.
Being able to write an album called Living with War and attack the president, and take down, Donald Trump. Well, doesn't that seem like he's kind of censoring free speech? You have a marketplace of ideas. I take in the information and I reject it as I see fit, unless it's causing me violence or harm or it's totally, totally hateful. Let me hear it and then make my own decision. Right.
Yeah, no, I totally see where you're coming from. So what you're saying is it's kind of hypocritical of him to say that, rocking in the free world, except for you, Joe Rogan, is pretty much what he's saying.
Joe Rogan cannot rock, and his world is not free. It's over. And that's exactly right. So he's getting some feedback or some replies to that, saying "Aren't you against free speech? Is this censorship?" So he wrote this letter, another letter, and he said, "I support free speech. I have never been in favor of censorship. Private companies have the right to choose what they profit from, just as I can choose not to have my music support a platform that disseminates harmful information." And I love how this detailed here. Just as I can choose not to have my music. Well, you did have a choice. You could have left it on there.
Well, yeah.
And they took your music off.
This is a huge switcheroo that got played on him, and he played himself pretty much.
100%. And I don't think he's big. I really don't think he cares about Spotify. I don't think he cares about iTunes. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to get listeners from Spotify. You're going to get that's the digital landscape. That's how music is consumed. Granted, there is an increase of CD and vinyl sales, which is really strange, but that's still the preferred medium for many people in this day and age.
Right.
So I love this line too at the beginning of the Rolling Stone article. It's another article from Rolling Stone. Like I said, they're leftists. They, that's it. And you consume their media, whatever. But they make these blanket statements, which you see on both sides of the aisle. And the first line of the article is Neil Young's decision to remove his music from Spotify. It's like, well, he didn't go there and take it off. They removed it after he gave them an ultimatum, and they chose Joe Rogan.
That's what I mean. This is so confusing. That's why I was so I'm looking at this quote right now. I'm reading it. Yeah, we regret Neil's decision to remove his music from Spotify. We but hope to welcome him back soon.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. So basically, Neil Young gave them an ultimatum. They essentially chose Joe Rogan, and Spotify says, they said, "Hey, we want to have everybody on here. We want to have all music consumed on here. Come back when you want to. We hope to have you back soon."
Yeah.
So this is another part of his new letter. He says. He says Spotify reduces the quality of their sound files down to 5% of the music's content. Amazon, Apple Music, and Qobuz, Qobuz. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Deliver up to 100% of the music today, and it sounds a lot better than the shitty, degraded, and neutered sound of Spotify.
Wait, this I'm sorry. This is in his most recent letter.
Yeah.
I haven't
support
seen
Spotify. Yeah, it just came out. Literally just came out. This is just an hour ago. If you support Spotify, you are destroying an art form. Business over art.
That's incredible.
So it sounds like he's having like almost like a tantrum. This is a bad look for Neil Young at this point.
Yeah, it really is, because he's kind of going off the deep end. It sounds like now. It sounds like he's just pissed off. It sounds like he's like a jaded lover, like coming back, like saying like, "Oh, you're dumping me? Well, no, I'm dumping you, and here's also why you suck." Like that. That's the vibes. Yeah.
that's absolutely spot on. Like, oh yeah, you have to. It's either me or something else, and they choose the other thing, and they're like, "Oh well, yeah, you suck too, so it doesn't really matter." That's definitely what it is.
Exactly, 100%. Like, also this whole uploading your music and having it like shitty quality. I don't know where he's 5%. What does that even mean? 5% of what?
No idea.
Like that makes no sense. I've uploaded music to Spotify before. It's exactly the same. It's like a 1-to-1. Like I don't
Now,
understand.
if you can figure that out, what's up with Neil Young?
Exactly.
He doesn't understand
Come on.
with the quality of music today.
I make songs in my mom's freaking basement. I think Neil Young. You think you'd figure this out?
But it's like I said, it's just not a good look, because okay, so he went out there, he wrote that letter. Okay, great. Take a stand for something you believe in.
Yeah.
All for it.
Okay,
so
fine.
in reality, they take his music off, and I think that's kind of how you would have seen that going. I don't know. Once again, if you're looking at a business perspective, or maybe just, I don't know, you want to piss off Neil Young, you would take his music off Spotify, right?
Right.
So instead of saying, great, thank you, I'm done, I'm out of it. No, it's like, no, you suck, and yeah, you know what? I'm glad I pulled my music because you're no good.
Yeah, and then it's like,
instead of being a protest, yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing. And you touched on something that I wanted to bring up too. So Spotify choosing to remove the music, it goes to one of these things that, like, a lot of people on the left and everything think that, like, companies they're very altruistic. They put up like the gay pride thing. Like, they'll change the colors of their logo to rainbow for like a month or something for gay pride month or whatever. Right. And they're thinking that, like, they're standing up and fighting for their values and things like that. So you would think Neil Young coming out and saying, like, you're spreading COVID misinformation, that if all these big companies were really fighting for progressivism, Spotify would listen to Neil Young and say, you know what, you're right. We're going to get rid of Joe Rogan, like, right now. But the reality comes out of it. No, like, these companies just want to make money, and you're getting, you're being had. You're all being tricked. Exactly. Companies don't give a shit about values or progressivism. Literally, the one thing is to make money. That's all they care about. So
that's absolutely true.
So whether or not Neil Young could have been 100% right. I'm not saying that he is, but even if he was, he's like, yeah, Joe Rogan is like literally killing people or whatever. They look and say, let's see, how much money does Neil Young make for us? Oh, how much money does Joe Rogan? Oh, Joe Rogan makes more. All right, see you, Young. Like, that's literally all it comes down to.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
That's it.
And you're right. You see, like, oh, it's whatever, gay pride. We'll just have a logo up for a month with the rainbow flag and things like that. I think you're absolutely right. And so it's like you said, if Neil Young was making a protest, and it was good. That's fine. Once again, Spotify chose to respond how they responded, but don't be like bitter about it, And in reality, I think that gives confidence. I think anything, it gives confidence to Spotify and their platform that, like, hey, we have this content. It is what it is. Take it as you will, And I like that they didn't say, okay, hey, we're going to get rid of something to keep something. It was, they essentially did.
I guess they kind of did, yeah.
But not from a censorship standpoint is what I'm trying to say. It's like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, you're right, he is killing people because he has a podcast and everybody listens to it. No, it's like, okay, here's the content. If you want your content off, that's fine, but this is our platform, this is what we do.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, I don't know, I don't think he should have came out and raged like a little baby like he did. He could have just said something like, he just kept taking his stance, saying like, you know what, I'm going to stand by this. If Spotify doesn't want me, I don't want to be part of their platform because I think that they're platforming someone who spreads misinformation. You could have just stayed at that. Instead, you're coming out like out of nowhere, like, oh, Spotify, I heard the CEO has a small dick, and also they like that's like what it's coming off as. It's just like petty. It's petty nonsense, and it just makes him look worse. His whole stance is like blown away. And I guess I kind of want to get into, like, I guess my question is, do you, regardless of what happened, let's take a step back from that, of all this like his tantrum and everything that happened and how it all went down. Do you think that Neil Young has a point? Do you think that Joe Rogan is spreading COVID vaccine misinformation?
So I don't think it's misinformation. Now, I haven't listened to these episodes. I have never listened to an episode of Joe Rogan in my life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when it comes to censorship, I know that even when he merged to Spotify, or Spotify bought the show or whatever it was, they did take some episodes off that you couldn't listen to anymore, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
So I don't think it's, what I like about the show, and I've seen clips, and I've seen the clips that are, circulate around these things. What it sounds like is like, okay, well, here's a guy's perspective. This is what he knows. This is what he's saying, and go from there. He's not saying this is bad. This is going to kill you. This is a problem. And saying, okay, well, let's get some ideas in here, which is exactly what a marketplace of ideas should be. And a free speech society should be. Okay, here's what we're saying. You don't like it, or you disagree with it. Tell me why you disagree with it, or just ignore it and move on.
Correct. And I'll tell you right now, I think the Joe Rogan podcast is pretty good. It's pretty interesting. He's got some interesting people on there.
Right.
The complaints that you get, and this is from a lot of leftists online, because again, I watch YouTube, so I know what they're always saying and what they're complaining about Joe Rogan. What they say is that Joe Rogan could be like handed information and he doesn't really push back on it. So if someone said something about the vax, if you will, he won't come and say like, well, no, I don't think that's true or whatever. He'll just kind of sit there and say, oh, that's interesting. But I don't think it goes to the level of him like purposely spreading,
or endorsing it or whatever it is.
Yeah. I don't.
Right.
Exactly.
It's really interesting.
It is,
and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I guess that's like really the thing that people have against it. Oh, one thing that I did see, and I guess kind of ties into this. He had some Australian reporter on there. And they were discussing, what's the thing when your heart gets inflamed? Myocarditis, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So he's like, Joe Rogan, this reporter from Australia is like, well, no, like if you get the shot versus getting COVID, he's like, you have a greater chance of getting myocarditis from just getting infected if you don't have the shot, right?
Okay.
And Joe Rogan says, no, that's not true. He's like, yeah, it is. And then they pull up a study, a peer-reviewed study, and it proves the guy right, and Joe Rogan was wrong. And Joe Rogan's like, I didn't know that. And then he just accepted it. He's like, oh, okay.
So there you go. So Joe Rogan's open to criticism or feedback. It's not like he's like saying no. He didn't deplatform the guy or threaten to pull his podcast because they invited the guy on.
Exactly. And like, was it a little embarrassing for Rogan? Like, yeah,
sure.
I guess so. But then he saw, like, he pulled up the article on his show, and then he was like, "Oh, I guess I was wrong," and like that was it. I don't
Oh
know.
my God, the misinformation. Oh my God,
Yeah, I know.
unbelievable.
So if it really was misinformation, I don't think that he would pull that up on it'd probably be cut out, right? Like it wouldn't even be in the episode. So
Right.
that's the way I see it. But yeah, go ahead.
He could have had that article and said, "Oh no, this article is wrong. This is what I'm saying." He didn't say that. He shared the study and said, "Okay," and he moved on. And that's encouraging. Like I said, what I like about Joe Rogan and what appeals to me is, and I'm going to start checking out his show, because there are some things like I said, I've watched clips and I've watched highlights and things, and I've always liked it. And I've taken in the things that circulate on the internet. But what I like about it is that, like I said, it's a true marketplace of ideas. Brings in different personalities, different perspectives. Here it is. Reject it if you want, or take it, or whatever it is, and go from there. And I think that's really a good thing in reality, because you have people getting deplatformed and censored and everything else for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. So.
No, and I agree too. And yeah, the Joe Rogan podcast, also known as the Joe Rogan Experience, or JRE as we like to call it in the So like if you listen to JRE, like there is a lot of different opinions, and like it's not just all politics. He has a lot of different people on there. I think a lot of people just focus on this because that's where all the drama is, but he has interesting like science things and kind of things like that. So I don't know.
The best part about this is that Rogan hasn't said anything at all about Neil Young or the podcast or anything. There's no response at all, which I think is hilarious.
That's a good point, because like, do you think Rogan like really gives a fuck about? He's probably just like, what? Like, I don't care. He's like, I am literally like a billionaire. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't think he worried for a second that Spotify was going to pull his show at all.
I've never actually consumed anything on Spotify.
Like not even music?
No, I don't know. I've never listened to a song or anything on Spotify before.
I got Spotify way back. This might have been like around when it first came out, because there was just Pandora for a long time. Remember that?
Yes, I remember Pandora. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was like big, because I mean, for the youngins listen to the show. Back when Pandora came out, it was like the first time you could listen to streaming music, but it was like radio. But then Spotify came out, and it's like, hey, you could listen to whatever the hell you want. You just got to pay us $10 a month. I was like, okay, because I had the student discount because I was in college at the time. Oh. So yeah, get my studies. But anyway, yeah. So like I've literally had it for probably, oh my God, like I don't even know when it came out. I'm gonna have to look that up. But I think I've had it for probably over a decade now.
No kidding. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't realize. Yeah. Well, I knew it's been around that long, because I remember that was a big thing. Didn't you need like a code or something to get on for a while, and people would like share their code or something? I remember there was a moment in Facebook where I have more Spotify codes. Ask me if you want one. That kind of thing. Have you ever experienced that? Remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Spotify code thing circulating for a while. I don't know if that was a thing or not. If I'm just making it up, but
I know. That does it kind of it's kind of back there in my memory banks, but I don't remember like actually participating in that.
I'm sticking with cassettes from now on.
Okay, you're sticking with cassettes. You're done. Are you protesting against Spotify too?
Yeah, I'm gonna record the JRE on cassette and then listen to it on cassette.
Oh my God,
so I have to listen to it on Spotify.
that might be the most hipster thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I just need I just really need to hear that soft buzz in the background when you listen to cassette.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's really nostalgic. Hey man, talk about compressing audio there, huh?
Oh my God,
Neil would hate it.
The 8-track was literally. It is the grainiest form of music, and he has 8 tracks out there. I know he released some of his music on 8 tracks. Oh my God,
that's why it just seems like he's pulling it out of his ass, just trying to think of like what could I get them on? Well, they compress my audio.
They compress my audio.
Oh my God,
I really do. I love Neil Young's music, and like I said, it is what it is. And
yeah,
he's a really smart guy. If you're into the model railroad community, he's big in model railroading as well.
Really? Okay, maybe this guy's okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going back and forth. That was a wild roller coaster, but I think I still like him as a person. I'd hang out with him, I guess.
I think he'd be kind of. I think he'd be kind of weird to hang out as a person.
Oh my God, Dixon! I just thought of a crazy thing.
What? Let's go for it.
What should happen? Joe Rogan should invite him on his show.
Oh my God, that would be
Oh
the
my,
ultimate.
that would be amazing. I would love that. That'd be so great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Maybe he will. You never know.
That'd be really cool. I hope he does. And then like it could be a big comeback for Neil Young and be like, I got to challenge you. This is what it's all about.
But like the thing is like, what is the topic going to be? What is Neil Young going to say?
Yeah, who the hell knows?
What is he? I mean, what is he like? Okay, well, obviously he's very interesting and he could talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what he's addressing, what is he going to say about Joe Rogan killing people? What is his argument?
I don't know. I think what he's trying to argue and the way that people on his side see it, like if you question this at all, then you are
oh yes, 100%
spreading misinformation, and you're like if you stop one person and they have like a little bug in their head that says like, oh, I shouldn't get this because I heard this on this show or whatever,
right?
Then I'm not going to get it, and then like they could possibly die. I guess that's the argument that they're making. But like you could be misinformed by anyone or anything at any time. But if you just
absolutely,
if we really go through the lengths of saying like, well, this could happen, like all you could say about this certain thing is this, right, and anything else is disseminated as misinformation, then I think that's kind of like very authoritarian, you
right.
know. I mean,
absolutely,
like
100%.
Yeah, unless you're saying unironically that like you're gonna get this thing and you're gonna turn into like a Hillary Clinton like lizard person, and then like I think questioning it's fine. You do whatever the hell you want,
Yeah, question it, make your own decisions.
Yeah,
use your brain cells. And here's like a great example. Like, so I was just talking about. I was reading some of the articles on Rolling Stone. I subscribed to Rolling Stone for years, and I just didn't like their content anymore. I just seemed to not align with what I was thinking. So I said, okay, I'm going to stop subscribing to Rolling Stone. And that was it. It was over.
Yeah.
I
no
questioned, I made a
problem.
decision. I'm like, I'm over it. Okay. Oh, that's great. So if you want to consume Rolling Stone, go ahead. I don't care. That's fantastic. Fine. They kind of got away from the music perspective, which I really, was kind of what I was into. But it's not like I'm trying to cancel Rolling Stone now.
Right. You're not, yeah, you're walking away and you're choosing what information to take in.
That was another thing too. To go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think that's the way that it should be. Like, you should be able to just
make a choice and question.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's what I was going to bring up
it,
too.
yeah.
Right, and that's what I was going to bring up too. Is that and I, so there was the big thing that Neil Young points to, or I think people point to, is that there was this letter or an article written to an open letter written to Joe Rogan with these people in the medical community.
I did hear about that when I was reading it through. Yeah,
about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the problem is, I know I didn't go through each name individually, but I saw a snapshot of a section of the names, and it's like, whatever, Ison Dixon, MD, professor whatever at Harvard University, or like, I don't know, whoever, master of public health at whatever, some college. So necessarily it wasn't these frontline people that are actually, in the hospitals and the ERs, treating patients, working with this, more like academics sitting behind a desk and are probably working from their home on Zoom.
Yeah.
So it's like, where are you kind of going with this? You know what I mean? I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like they're not in the fray. They're not in it. They're just like sitting home and deciding to go after him is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have time to sign a letter to Joe Rogan that he's no good. I mean,
yeah,
I think that says more about the fact that they're just more on the academic sense and not really treating physicians.
I think so too. Maybe they should find something better to do.
Get a real job, medical school. Come on,
seriously. Yeah, if you just go on Joe Rogan, you know what? face him face to face like a man.
Yeah, really. Stand up for what you believe in, like Neil Young.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable.
How much do you think Neil Young was making off Spotify? Like what? Like $5 a month or something?
Yeah, I mean, 6 million streams. It's gonna be a good chunk of change. But isn't Spotify notorious? They don't pay anything, or like their reimbursement is decreased from whatever.
Oh my god, I forgot what it was because I looked into this. it was funny because I just saw a tweet and it's like, wow, Neil Young's gonna be hurt, and then he doesn't get that royalty check for $137 a month from Spotify.
That's so funny. That's so good. I love it.
I mean, I'm sure he probably gets like something decent. I'd have to look it up, but it's like fractions of a fraction of a cent. So
how do they allow that? Like, how do they get on there? Like, why is that a thing then if you're not getting paid for it?
you are getting paid for it, but you have to be like Neil Young essentially, and even then, you're not making like millions or anything. I think you're probably making, I don't know, like a couple thousand a month, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's not.
Wow.
It's definitely not that much. So I'm sure this isn't hurting his bank. Oh, here it is. 0.003.
Oh my god.
0.003 cents. So
that's unbelievable. So that's all based on the stream and everything else.
Yeah, it's per stream on average. It's between 0.003 and 0.005. So on the low end, Neil Young is making approximately 20 grand. 20 grand per month.
Oh
so
my
I mean,
gosh,
that's not 240 grand, almost $250,000 a year. That's not too bad, I guess. But I mean,
yeah, I guess.
I mean that's still a decent chunk, I would imagine. I don't know.
He
probably
seriously.
Yeah. I wonder, Jesus, if he's making that, Joe Rogan got a full payout, like it was like 200 million or something like that.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Plus whatever the hell he's making per stream, that's got to be incredible. He just has money flowing into him. Like at that point, you probably just don't even know what to do with your money.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, sorry, I got kind of off topic there. I was curious what the financial hit was to Neil Young for this discretion.
Well, that's it for Neil Young. I guess he's have to sell his houses and everything else.
It's over. He's on the street.
Poor guy. You know what? Let's get Neil Young on here. We can just unknown artist Neil Young.
Yeah, you could use the money, Neil. Come on.
We do have 2 subscribers.
Yeah. More than he got now. Oh man, that's
you could actually get our stuff on Spotify if we were on Spotify, which is different compared to Neil Young.
Oh my god. We should do that. Be like, oh, you know, Neil Young might not be on Spotify, but Ice and Dixon is. So.
Oh man, boy, society really took a turn. That's it.
Oh man. Oh.
So what do we got next? What's hot on the docket?
Something very shocking that I just watched, and I know that you told me about this, but our dear president, Joseph Biden, calling a Fox News reporter. I don't even know if I could say it. I'm gonna say it. He called him a son of a bitch, stupid son of a bitch, actually.
Stupid son of a bitch. Oh my god.
And you know what? I want to hear your take on this first, but I was watching this. I'm like, man, there's so much to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack in that very short, like 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible. So, okay, I guess I could explain what happened. So the Fox News reporter asked, and he said, "Do you think it's a liability for the Democratic Party coming up to the election that there is inflation?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think inflation is a liability? And Biden sarcastically goes, "No, it's a huge asset." And then he says, it's not really even under his breath. He just says it. He says, "No, inflation's an asset, you stupid son of a bitch."
That's honestly hilarious.
It is really it is pretty funny because I mean he's right. I mean, like, I don't know. That's kind like kind of just saying like, no, what the fuck? What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, inflation's great. Yeah.
That is so funny. And this isn't the first time he's been caught on a like. Remember back in whatever year it was? About when he said about healthcare that this is a big fucking deal. Oh my god!
I'll never forget
hilarious.
that. He really is. I wish he wasn't so like demented.
Yes, exactly.
And that was one of the things that I wanted to point on too. Like when he says that, I can't even tell if he realizes that the mic is on or he realizes that he even said it because he just kind of has a blank stare on his face. Like
Right, right, right.
he calls him a stupid son of a bitch, and then he just kind of like squints and like looks around. Like did he know? Did he know it was a hot mic? Was there any response from him on this?
I think actually it's funny because actually Peter Ducey, the guy from Fox News, he said that Biden called him. He said it's nothing personal, pal, and then like that was it.
No way.
I don't think it was an apology, but he basically cleared the air. But I think that the thing is that Biden is so used to being managed. I mean, he's always slipped and he's always said things he shouldn't say. That's just his thing. But Biden in this day and age, there's a big difference between the Biden of 2008, of the Obama era and this Biden. It's obvious.
Yes.
And I think he's so used to being managed that he doesn't even realize when the mic's on, when the mic's off, that he has probably such a plan in place that things just occur for him. So he probably just assumed that the mic was off because he was done taking questions.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like it was immediately off, and that was it. But yeah, because like you said, he's so used to being managed, like things are just done for him. So it's just like, oh, I answered my question. Now the mic's off. It's like second nature to him.
Stupid son of a bitch. That is so funny. I saw that. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't believe it. I did start laughing too. I was like, oh my god.
But the thing is like what's so annoying about the whole thing is that, all right, fine. He said it. Okay.
Yeah.
Presidents are human. You would think, right?
Of course.
Of course, that was a mistake on his end. I guess I don't know. I think it's hilarious. What do I know?
Mm-hmm.
But
it is funny.
If Trump were to say directly, the thing is, I guess what the thing was with Trump and why everybody was so shocked and so anti-Trump in the media establishment anyway, is that he told you exactly what he thought and what he was feeling right to your face. Like when he called BuzzFeed a failing pile of garbage.
Well, that was the best though. We always wanted someone to say that. Like if you're gonna ask a stupid question, then you come back at him. You say something. You call him a stupid son of a bitch. But yeah, and Trump did that. Yeah.
If Trump did that, but if Trump had said you're a stupid son of a bitch, it would be 24-hour nonstop coverage, inciting violence, inciting issues that the media is the enemy of the people, all this stuff. And Biden gets free pass.
Exactly. It's really frustrating to see it like that because, in a way, I'm almost glad that the Trump era is over, just because they beat you down. The media was constant. There was no other news besides like, oh, Trump said this, Trump said that, Trump said this, and that's what it would be. Oh yeah, if it was Trump right now, but because it's
so exhausting.
Yeah, like my Google news feed would just be Trump said this, Trump said that, but now. I didn't even know about this until you told me about it. I had to actually, I had to search it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. You would have been aware on your Apple News feed or whatever that it came up. But what's insane is that, like I said, is Biden preached about during the election. Oh, we need honor and decency back in the White House. We need this. We need to get along. We don't need divisiveness. And here he is calling this guy a stupid son of a bitch. So there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah. Total. Just more hypocrisy. I'm so sick of it.
Oh my god! It's all you want is just be consistent. Obviously, that was a stupid question. I think that's how the reporter intended it, because he doesn't. From what I understand, they have a very hard time getting him to answer questions directly.
They do.
Unless it goes through Jen Psaki. So like, why not just throw stuff out there? Like, and see what he says.
Yeah, why not? And you know what? He could have addressed it and said, like, inflation's a problem, but we're tackling it this way. Blah blah blah. This is our strategy, or whatever. But Biden just tossed that out there. So I mean, I guess it's an answer.
It is an answer. It is. I mean, it's something exactly how he feels at the moment.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, like. I think that just goes to what you said. I think he probably was just trying to get an answer out of him because it's so hard to get Biden to answer like an off-the-cuff, unfiltered question,
Right. Well, there you go. So here we are in this day and age. Stupid son of a bitch.
Oh, good. Gotta love it.
Absolutely, man. It's definitely interesting. So, how's everything going? How you doing? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get through this. I think I'm gonna be okay. It kind of sucks being in quarantine, but here we are. At least I get to do the show with you. That's all that really
Wow.
matters. It's really keeping me going, keeping me pushing forward.
That's well, I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really had no idea.
Yeah, you have a
Feel
lot. You
honored.
have a lot of influence. So if you leave Dixon, it's all over for me.
It's all over, just one side.
I'm done.
Am I going to talk to myself? You're gonna pull for this platform. Start your own.
Could you imagine doing a podcast by yourself? Some people do that. I don't know how the F you do a podcast by yourself. Remember that one guy I showed you?
Yeah.
Oh my god! If anyone's listening to this, go check out Gizmo. Go check out Gizmo. Go check out Gizmo.
Yeah, I mean, having a hype man is definitely would be a good thing. I mean,
hey, do you hear what Dixon did today? Wow, do you hear how much he lifted? You know, this one time, Dixon.
Ice can't leave the house, so forget it. It's over.
Oh my god!
But I would wear one of those heart rate trackers, and
Mm-hmm.
it track your the calories burned, like it's set to whatever. And my heart rate and my calories were always burning quicker, increasing quicker when I was lifting as compared to cardio. And so I just really focused on the lifting portion, and I would just extend my lifting workout. It's supposed to do a half hour on the bike, half hour whatever. I would just do an hour of lifting, and target different parts. And I would also do the Stairmaster. The Stairmaster was pretty good.
Oh, I fucking love that thing.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. But
so
then I got out of the gym.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah, no, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I am saying.
Oh no, yeah. So just real quick, you said about your heart rate, because I find this very interesting, because there's like a huge thing in this, and I find anecdotal evidence is pretty interesting on this. But
right.
You said that your heart rate increases when you lift as opposed to cardio.
Well, so it increases quicker.
Yes.
With it gets to my target, what it is, which the old standard used to be, I think it was 220 minus your age. Now I'm hearing it's 180, which I think might be true, but I haven't really heard any more research on it, except for some dude telling me that. But
don't you love that? It's always like you look up like fitness info online, and you find like the one guy that seems the most. You're like, that sounds okay. Well, 180 or fine, that's good.
Yeah, it would increase, because why? What's the anecdotal? What do you have to go with?
What I'm saying, that's really interesting, because you know how CrossFit does, like you're doing cardio plus weightlifting,
right? Sometimes
the workouts don't have lifting and cardio mixed in, but the ones that do, and I notice this, and I look at my watch all the time, because it's like you could feel it. So let's say you do a bunch of cardio and then you go into a lift, your heart rate, like, it spikes. It's crazy. Yeah. So let's say like you do like a row, or like you do a jog, and then you come and do like, I don't know, like a deadlift or something, like 10 deadlifts. Right. Your heart rate just shoots up, and it's absolutely crazy. Whereas cardio just keeps it low. Well, not low, relatively, compared to weightlifting.
Right.
Like I'll throw it out there, like 140 if I'm like taking a nice jog.
Yes.
Then I go and I just start lifting. Mm-hmm. That's shooting up to like 180, 185 if I really push. Yeah. So yeah.
No, absolutely. 100%. There's definitely that. And so I got back into the gym, just this past week, and just in the first couple days, it's like, wow, feel good. Feel a burst of energy, more more romantically inclined, kind of deal. So it must be the test.
No, that I'm laughing and joking, but it's that is 100% true. When you turn into like a slug, and I'm not saying that you do, but I did, and when I laid around and just ate like shit, your passion goes down, and you're just kind of content, but you're not happy. Essentially, you're just kind of you're content with just laying around and doing nothing. But once you start lifting and you get that like spike of testosterone, it's fucking great.
Absolutely.
You're living life, yeah.
No, yes, that's definitely something to consider. You wonder how testosterone looks across the world, even across the country.
That's
like the levels.
I would love to know. Have you ever? Now, let me ask you this: have you ever seen Speaking of BuzzFeed, like you said before, have you ever seen that one article about them?
No.
they took like 5 or 6 BuzzFeed like news writers or blog writers or reporters, like they all worked for BuzzFeed, and they
Okay.
they took their testosterone. They
Oh
are
yeah, I did see
all
these. Yeah.
below like like the recommended level for men.
I did it. And nothing against these guys, but they're all like, nerdy classes.
Oh
Live
yeah.
in New York City,
Yeah, absolutely. And like there's a lot of different factors that affect your testosterone, but it's just funny that every single one of
Yeah.
them, like out of that sample
It's
size,
really funny.
they just all have low test. And I wonder, could that be because they don't lift weights maybe, or they don't get enough like physical exercise, like, or do you think it's just because they're naturally like more feminine and that's what drew them to BuzzFeed? And
It's a
that
really
like
good question.
yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if you take a sample, I'm sure this study's been done. We
Mhm.
have like lift versus no lift, what the testosterone looks like. And I wonder what, without the lift, if there is, a decline that occurs, or whatever it is. Because I know, like, even with the soy stuff, like vegan diet, and you have soy-based products. Doesn't soy-based products introduce more estrogen into your body? Because we have both.
Yes.
It's just a matter of what's more predominant, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, so like if you have like soy and stuff, I hear that it does increase your your estrogen levels. And also
yeah, right.
also having more fat as opposed to muscle also increases your estrogen levels. I think it makes you like develop, cuz like everyone has estrogen and testosterone levels in their body,
Right.
but I think males balance that out because they have more muscle as opposed to I mean, like, I'm saying like pseudoscience now, but it has something to do with like your levels of that. But yeah, I think soy also introduces higher levels of estrogen.
Wow.
And
Interesting stuff.
yeah, that's I'm actually looking up this this study right here.
Huh.
Lifting weights or doing other strength training workouts has a big effect on your testosterone.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's pretty interesting. Research
Well,
has
that's good to
shown
know.
that lifting heavier weights is the best form of exercise to boost testosterone.
Really?
As
There you
muscle
go.
mass increases, it will trigger the body to produce more testosterone. So basically, just have more muscle and you produce more testosterone. That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool. I mean, it's like a self-regulating system in reality. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Now, I feel like people could kind of attack us for this, for toxic masculinity
Oh
talk.
no. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's over.
Oh, you're saying we should all have more testosterone? Like I could see something like that.
That's it. It's over. We're actually taking this preemptively. We're taking this podcast off the platform.
Yeah.
We're actually taking it off. So just so everybody, you can't cancel us. We're actually moving it, so it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, and also and YouTube's stupid too.
Yeah, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's over.
Oh, I love it. Really tied it all in there.
Oh man, fantastic.
That's
Yeah, man.
great.
Well, hey, hopefully, we'll see you in the gym soon when you get healthy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I will definitely. I'm gonna keep you updated. I'm also gonna do keto as well, but we could talk about that in the next.
Oh yeah, that
In the
sounds like a
next.
good episode because I want you to break that down.
Absolutely, because I have a lot of thoughts on it, and I'm definitely
Yeah.
not. I'm definitely not the one who worships it, but I will say a little sneak peek. It has worked for me, and it has worked big time. So
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts, your what works, what doesn't. I want to go in depth with Ice on this.
oh, I would love to. Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about weight loss, weight gain, all that good stuff, and how keto ties into all of it.
What about your triglycerides? Should I be concerned about that?
I'd be very concerned about that. Yeah. No, my tri levels are actually good because I got a blood test like literally like the month after I was off keto. Maybe like it may have been at the same time, but all my blood levels were like absolutely perfect. It was crazy.
Wow, that's wild. Interesting stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, we have anecdotal and quantitative evidence for this. So
Both,
stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next episode. Also, the big new sub. Thank you so much. Again, you got to comment below. Let us know. Just give us a question, honestly. I think any new sub should just say, "Hey, I subbed," and then just ask us something, and we'll bring it up in the next show. Put your name on the screen. we'll answer your question. That'll be the very first thing that we do. So if you want to shout out, just let us know.
Thank you, and we're looking forward to many subs, many questions, and featuring you on this great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch this one organic sub be like, oh fuck, I accidentally clicked subscribe. Holy shit.
It's over.
Yeah.
What if his question was, how do I unsubscribe?
That'd be absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be upset if we upload this and they see like, hey, I didn't mean to sub to this, and then you just unsubscribe. I don't think it's gonna happen though. We'll be fine.
Okay. Nah, it'll be good. Yeah, and we'll keep growing.
It
We're
was
excited.
legit. Yeah, very excited. So thanks for listening, guys, and Dixon, thank you, and we will see you in the next episode 10.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace.